Hi, I'm here to introduce you to the new JMF Pro. It's not backwards compatible with the JMF Basic, so I've already changed the name JMF Pro here, and I still include the JMF Basic if you need it, so they're not backwards compatible. And the new features in JMF Pro is that I've made the panels and pieces into a much more plug-and-play compatible feature. So as you can see in the game manager, I've changed. There used to be a panel here, I've changed it, and also the pieces, I've changed it. So now there's a piece definition object and a panel definition object, which refers to these two panels, and the default back panel, because I found it really hard to just keep on referring to this normal basic panel skin, so I made it simple and just added this one more block here. And the panels manager are all plug and play scripts, and the scripts are located in the scripts customizables, the panel types, and the piece types. So these are all the scripts that I have. You can customize it or you can add to it, as well as the panel types. There are templates for you to use in both folders. Hopefully they are the instructions are good enough for you to understand it. If not, you can just write to me and ask further. As well as the piece. The piece are much more detailed and there's much more complications, so it's much longer. You can have a look at it. And then there's a basic hierarchy structure here, which is a PNG for my JMF, which is the game manager. And then the game manager has the board, and then the board has the pieces and panels. And at any one given time, no matter where you are, you can always fall back to the game manager. Like if you're from pieces, you can access the parent board via master, so it's like master dot, and then you can get the game manager by master.gm and so forth. The PD is the extra variable now that reference the panels and pieces, as well as the PND, which is the panels. So you can have a look at that. Hopefully that will help you understand the flow better. As for the panels, these are all the predefined as well as their skin. All these have the default inspector variables for you to play with. So if it's in front or not, or whether it has a starting piece or not, these are critical for it to how it looks like during startup. So make sure that these are in order, as well as the default strength, which is used in the board layout. Now I would like to shift to the board layout. As you can see, I've changed the board layer to include the pieces as well. So now we have the panels as well as the pieces, what type of special piece you would like here. A fair warning though is that if you choose treasure and it's not a treasure game, the piece will not know how to disappear once it reaches bottom. So yeah, things like that. You can also reset the pieces. For example, if it's like you click a few times and then you just want to reset the pieces. If you want to retain this board layout, just reset the pieces, or you can reset all of it. And if you're familiar with the JMF Basic, these are the normal textures that does not influence the board at all. It's just for visual here on the board layout, as well as the random panel limit. All these now are they sync automatically with what you have defined in the panels manager. For example, right now I have the last one is shaded panels. So if I were to close this, I go to my panels and add a new component, scripts. I'm not sure which is which. Nope, this is pieces. Add scripts, template 2. So this is another for example, is another panel that you like to add to the script, so it's like plug and play. And if you go back to the board layout, the template has already been added, as well as the random limit. So if I were to go back to here, the panels manager, and remove it, you'll see that it's gone. And also in the panels and pieces manager, the order of the script matters. So basic panel should always be should always be the top. Actually, well, just better to leave it at the top. I don't think it matters so much for the panels, but the pieces, hopefully you do not touch the normal piece, because I use the normal piece as the reference point. So hopefully you leave the normal piece as the first one, and then the rest is up to what you desire in your game. It goes in the order of the last you added. So during a check, a random check, a routine check, the treasure piece is the first to execute all the checks. Then it goes to the special 6, executes the check, then special 5, then bomb piece, vertical piece, horizontal piece. The last thing it will check is the normal piece. So if you want for example, in a match, you want something to be created first, you always add it, at the bottom to what you don't want to be created at the top. Hopefully you understand that. And the size of the pieces are still fixed at 9. You can actually add more, but in the game manager panel, this num of active type, I tried to make it dynamic to follow how many skins you have defined, but they won't allow me to do a slider with a dynamic. So if you want to change this, you have to delve into the game manager script. So my current static limit is 9. And I've also added the treasure piece into the winning conditions, which is over here. So we have the treasure label and the treasure checks. That's a simple one, and whether it's a treasure game or not. So the number of treasures that you want in the game, the max amount of treasures that is spawned, the chances of spawning, I set it to from 0, which it will not spawn at all. I don't think you want that. Until about 30%. This is in percentage. Even 30% it spawns quite often. So I found the sweet spot to be about 3 to 5. As well as the treasure goal. These are actually the board coordinates over here. So I can say, for example, I want, if it reaches like 0, 0, which is here, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 0, that means it's like the bottom here. So if you want like the treasure to reach somewhere else for it to meet its goal, then you will have to define it here. You can change the size of this treasure goal. For example, you can put like 10 or 11. Then you add more criteria to it. That is concerning the treasures. Now I would like to show you a bit about the template. As you can see, there's a lot of instructions here. Especially you would want to enlarge a few of the comments that are probably collapsed, so that you get a better feel. I've already tried to explain as much as I can regarding what is happening here and there. So the match conditions, the power match or the perform power, and these are the virtual functions which inherit from the main piece definition. So make sure that you always call the base if you're overriding it. So over here there's a unique one, which is like on the piece create and on the piece destroyed. You can actually add your own like visual effects here, or add your own script. For example, if you want to add your own script, you can always do like, for example, the game piece, which is GP over here, game piece dot this piece, this is the game object, dot add component, and your script here. So this is how you add your own script. Then once you add your own script, if you are using pooling, be sure that you remove your own component here using the destroy, and then you find the component, like for example gp.thisPiece. What was it? Anyway, just find your own component back, and don't forget to destroy it if you're pooling. So that's, you can add your own scripts on top of the normal ones, or things like on player move or on the bot stabilize. You can all define it here. So over here, this is the one of the unique features of the new JMF Pro, is that you have a chance to spawn it. So based on default basis, it returns null, meaning there's no chance to spawn a given piece. But if you want, like for example, a rainbow piece to spawn, you can like give your own criteria here. If it meets the criteria to spawn, then it will spawn a rainbow piece from the top or wherever your gravity top is. And make sure that there's a warning here, beware of returning true all the time, or else it will only spawn this piece, things like that. Extra positioning, whether it's back or front, in case you want it to be always on top of another object. And the check pattern, you would not need to bother about the check pattern unless you are very good in coding, and you can change how the check pattern is. For example, if you want like a Z type match and things like that, or a T type match, or L, that kind of things. Some games have those special kind of match. Then you will need to change the check pattern. So make sure that you are overriding the piece definition or the panel definition if you are changing a panel. And one of the easiest ways is you just go to the template and press Ctrl D to duplicate the template, and then just rename the template as you wish, blah blah blah, and then go back into the script and change the name of the script also for it to work. So I guess that's basically all I need to explain about the JMF Pro scripts. I've do away with the match type and the powers and the special merge. Oops. As you can see, the only remaining ones out here are the custom animations, the audio player, and the winning conditions, because the rest are all defined individually in the scripts itself. So good luck to you, and hope you enjoy the kit. Thanks.